Welcome back to Deb's Big Backyard on the Road. I'm Deb, and with the rains that we had in the early season and my new practice of companion planting and all this container gardening, it's going to be a great year for tomatoes in my big backyard. Probably yours too. You know, over the summer I've had the opportunity to visit a lot of gardens in Oak Park and River Forest, and two that really struck me were run by nonprofits. The Alex Anderson Memorial Garden at Hephzibah Home and the All Ages, All Ability Garden at Cheney Mansion. It's a community garden. Both of them have all sorts of folks of all ages and all abilities that are working the soil. Let's go meet them.
Currently, the house has 26 children from all over the state of Illinois who need time to heal and kind of take care of themselves. They've been traumatized by a number of different types of abuse situations, and so they come here to kind of get themselves together and learn more about themselves and help them get back to going in the real world.
We have had a garden here for many years, but it wasn't until last year that we worked with a larger group in order to bring a more sustainable garden to Hephzibah. We came together and started talking about what kind of project we could do. And I said, well, we have a garden at Hephzibah that could use some care. We haven't had much luck in growing things in the past. What about if we redo Hephzibah's garden? Then from the produce, we can take some of the produce and share it with the food pantry.
The benefits have been incredible. The kids had no idea, most of the children had absolutely no idea that you could actually plant something and a carrot would grow and they could pick the carrot and take it into the kitchen. They had absolutely no idea that vegetables actually came from a garden.
As far as this being dedicated to your son, what does that do for you? How does it make you feel?
Well, it's wonderful because it's a way of remembering him in a spot that he loved. He loved these children, and he got as much out of volunteering at Hephzibah as whatever benefit he brought to the kids.
Tomatoes?
Oh wow, they're doing really, really well.
Yes. And squash. Zucchini, actually, zucchini.
Yeah, well look at, there's some, they're getting ready to flower, and that means there's going to be some squash on there soon. Aren't there some carrots somewhere?
Yes, carrots are right over here.
A couple of the little boys, it seems to be boys for some reason, but they really enjoy planting and digging and weeding, and they really love what's happening out here.
Where is the root system?
In the bottom.
The bottom, the root system?
The bottom.
Yeah.
And this is what we call the shoot system. Yeah. The root system and the shoot system.
Got it.
This is called the Cheney Mansion All Ages, All Abilities Garden. And it really started because I saw that they had this beautiful space on the north side of Cheney Mansion where food had been grown in the past. And there really was an opportunity to take over these garden beds with community partners and grow food that will be harvested and donated to the food pantry. So clearly I can't do this all on my own, and so I enlisted volunteers through the support of community partners such as Oak Leiden, WSSRA, Opportunity Knox. We also have support from Concordia's Gerontology Center and through the Township Senior Services, and we also have a really great lending library, a tiny library from the library system in Oak Park. So it really is a collaborative garden that addresses the need for gardening opportunities for people with all abilities and every age.
From my understanding, this is an outreach of the schoolhouse.
It is.
Right? Tell me a little bit about what that means, because we're all learning about that.
We are. Okay, so the Sugar Beet Co-op started over 3.5 years ago, and we now are opening the store. But all along, we really wanted to also be a hub for educational programming that really elevates our food literacy and and provides opportunities for people to connect with food. So whether it's growing their own food or getting to know their farmers through farm tours or learning how to cook or preserve, yeah, especially gardening, because it's such a great way to get a whole family involved in the food system. And so what the schoolhouse does is provides that programming.
Well, I'm all in on this, but I want to know a little bit more of the nuts and bolts, because I've heard this described as a community garden.
Sure.
So it sounds like you have partners. How are they involved, and how can we all get involved?
Okay, so each of our agencies really serves people, typically young adults with physical and mental disabilities. So they bring their participants 1 day a week, and they do everything from weed to harvest to stake, and sometimes they're just here to like look at butterflies and see the magic that is a green pepper that they planted in April or May, now big enough to harvest and donate to the food pantry. And we keep harvesting. We've harvested almost 200 pounds and donated to the food pantry.
Why is gardening good for people who are living with disabilities?
Well, in our population, of course, exercise is something that's definitely important, and when you garden, you do get exercise. But it also teaches them where food comes from, too. Going to the supermarket is one thing, you just don't know where it comes from.
Right.
But when you're planting it and you're taking care of it yourself, and you see how things are developing, and you get a sense of appreciation for growing something of yourself, because you put it in the ground yourself and you see it come up and you go, wow, I grew that. And they're learning something about that, and they're also learning how to cultivate the garden and learning how to help out people.
So Christine, I see you got your work crew here. So what's going on when they get into the garden? What do they do?
They usually take out the weeds, and whoever around that actually have a green thumb, because I don't, but can also assist them in showing them what type of vegetables they planted.
I like to put sprinkles on the garden and put the spinach in there.
Okay.
Oh,
and sowing out the dirt.
Well, I see a pretty strong and powerful work crew here. Everyone who loves gardening, let's give it a thumbs up. Look at all those green thumbs.
More greens.
What about other people who have a surplus of things in their gardens this summer? What should they do?
Oh, just bring it here. Bring it here, whatever you have. It doesn't matter if it's one tomato. We're grateful to have anything. It just is very, very helpful for our clients to have this food available. Some weeks we have a lot of produce, some weeks we don't have that much. So just anything, it's very, very helpful for us.
I got a late start in germinating my heirloom tomato seeds this year, early May, but the weather has cooperated, and very soon I'm going to have a bunch of ripe tomatoes hanging from these vines, many of which we're going to enjoy, and a bunch that I'm going to donate to the Oak Park and River Forest Food Pantry. You know, if you've got an overage, you can do it too. I'm Deb. This is Deb's Big Backyard on the Road. I'll see you next time.